We've got an incomplete histogram here, and we've got an incomplete table of information. We need to use the histogram to fill in this table, and then we need to use the table to fill in the histogram. So the key thing with a histogram is it's always about the frequency density. So I'm just going to add an extra column onto my table here, calling it FD for frequency density. Remember, the frequency density is the frequency divided by the width, how wide the bar is. So the first bar between 0 and 5 is obviously the width there is 5. So 15 divided by 5 is 3. 20 divided by, again, the width here is 5 again. The difference between 5 and 10 is 5. The width here is 5. So 20 divided by 5 is 4. We can't fill these other ones in just yet, but we can do the last one. 10 divided by, now the width here between 40 and 60, the width of this final bar is 20. The difference between 40 and 60 is 20. So 10 divided by 20 is 0.5, or half. Right, so that's all we can do with this at the moment. Let's go to the histogram now then. So the frequency density, the height of the first bar is 3. So I know that this is 3 there. Now that allows me to fill the rest of this the scale on the y-axis up, because if that is 3, then I know that that has to be 1, that has to be 2, that has to be 4, that has to be 5, because obviously the scale has to be the same on the y-axis. Which makes sense with the second bar look, because the height there is 4, which is what we were expecting here. So we can now look at the third bar. The height of the third bar here is 2.5. So this is 2.5. So now I can think, well, the frequency, whatever this is, divided by the width, which is 10, the difference between 10 and 20. So something divided by 10 is 2.5. Well, that's 25. 25 divided by 10 is 2.5. Or 2.5 times 10 is 25. So again, that's helped me to figure this bit out. Let's get on to the fourth bar here. The frequency density of this fourth bar is 0.8. And now I'm thinking, well, something divided by 20 is 0.8. Well, 16 divided by 20 is 0.8. Or the other way of thinking about that is I could do 0.8 multiplied by 20 gives me 16. So there we go. I've managed to use the histogram to fill in the table of information. That's part A done. Now I need to move to part B, use the information in the table to complete the histogram, because obviously this final bar here is missing. We can see from my table that the final bar should have a height of 0.5, which is here. So the final bar, let me get my ruler, the final bar should be across here, like that. There we go.